Do we have someone on the line?
No.
So you are the first person on the line.
I am the first person.
Oh, I see. Do we not have a liaison anymore?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We have two of them.
Just don't show up.
We have two of them.
We have a,
Fantastic.
They heard I took their chair, so they don't want to.
My.
no. There's plenty of seats.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time we showed up.
I want to say September.
Do we need one more?
August.
Do we need one more?
No, you have
No,
one.
we just
Okay.
gotta wait till.
I know, I'm
5:15.
waiting my minute. I know.
You have one.
Yeah, August is the answer to that question.
Wow.
And granted, we didn't meet, what, November, December, January. So that seems like a long time.
Now can I go?
Ready, go.
Okay. It is 5:15 on February 26th, calling the Town of Parker Streets and Traffic Committee meeting to order. Everyone turn off their electronic devices. Can we have the roll call, please?
Chairman Robinson,
Present.
Vice Chair Duran, absent. Member Merritt, absent. Member Parker,
And present.
Member McMahon, absent. Member Cornelius,
Here.
Member Lopez,
Here.
and then we have Public Works Director Steve Ziegler and Amy Putnam.
Or the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call to the public? No public?
Public?
No public?
Nobody
Steve,
cares.
we'll have our streets and traffic update. Streets look fabulous.
So the project over there at 16th through 18th, Cal through Kofa is completed. Turned out pretty well. Minor little things that we need to tweak over there at the intersection of 16th and Joshua that I'll address with the engineer. But everything seems to be flowing really well as designed.
How'd it do with the rain?
It did great. It drains much better than it ever has before. It just, right there at the low spot of 16th and Joshua there, it still collects right there in the middle. So she's aware of it. I took pictures that week that, we had plenty of rain afterwards, so it was easy to get some good pictures of what happens when it rains. It certainly doesn't stick around like it used to, for weeks at a after a significant rain. So it's draining off really well. And yeah, there's no issues or no complaints that I've received, which is good. So it turned out well. The other project that Sunland has scheduled this year is over there on Hopi and Geronimo, the catch basins.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have an update from them yet on when that is going to be on their schedule. They told me either late February, obviously this is the last week, or early March is the timeframe for that one. So that's obviously still to come. Outside of that, staff is busy finishing up their crack seal. We've got 2 more full pallets of material to go through, so they'll be crack sealing probably another few weeks at least. Various streets around town. Outside of that, we're just doing routine work, routine maintenance.
I know they took care of that one pothole right at Joshua's agency That is just a constant
Yeah.
sinkhole.
And there's another one developing next to it, I noticed too.
Mhm.
They fixed the good one, the big one, now there's another one.
Yeah, so,
Ongoing.
Couple spots like that throughout town.
Yeah, it's
Just
it's asphalt.
constant, requires them to be on top of it and monitor it. Yeah, so crack sealing's going well, just, we got delayed quite a bit with the rain,
Mhm.
so that pushed us back a good month at least. Because after it rains, obviously, we have to let it dry out, and in some cases, we're letting, we let it dry out, and then we got more rain, and so it just continued to stack up, so it put us a good month behind. So we're trying to get caught up, and we'll go through the last 2 pallets of material, and then we'll call it good.
okay. Any questions?
I-
Gloria?
I don't have a question regarding the streets and all the repairs, but is this the time that I can bring up, in front of the store, or my store?
Sure.
I've asked you about, a ramp or a step or something that can go up. I had 2 incidents that happened there. I thought maybe one of them might take me to the complaint of the tribes,
Yeah,
but I haven't received the letters, and it happened in December. The lady fell as she
fell
went
off the
to,
sidewalk?
yeah, as she was raising her foot, she rose her foot up, and she was gonna get from the road up to the sidewalk, and she missed it. And she was an elderly lady. I had the paramedics out there, the police, Crit and Parker, and everybody there, and I'm like, oh, Lord. So I've been waiting for somebody to say something,
You know
and
who it was?
the lady?
Yeah.
No. She was supposed to come in and place an order, but she fell and she went into the hospital, so I can find out. She broke her tooth.
Oh,
It
my.
came out. I mean, one of my girls went over there and got the paper towel, and we had the tooth right there, and she busted the whole part of her face there where she fell forward like that. And the other lady, she just kind of like, fell on her knees there. And I keep telling them, any regulars, I said, park on this side where the church is. I said, it's lower because that's where I get off. I go off there. So at one time I brought it up, if I was to have a handicap ramp or step or something, where would you go? Would you go further closer to the drain of the COFA in Arizona? Or would you go in front of the church?
I'd
The
have to
other
look-
building
I'd-
that's
I'd-
next to
I'd
it.
have to look at it.
Take a look at it, okay?
Yeah, I'd have to look at it.
Because you did tell me I was going to lose one parking, which is okay. But I just kind of need to know, because if it's going over by the COFA in Arizona, the corner, it's gonna be up real high.
Yeah, do you know if was she handicapped? Was she?
No, she wasn't. She was the driver.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And her little granddaughter came in running in, and she goes, can you call the ambulance? Hurry, my grandma fell. And that's when we walked out. But being native, I wasn't sure, should we touch her? Should we go? And so we called the ambulance right away and, let them take care of it.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
What
Thank you
about
for
on the
letting me know.
side, on the COFA side, like, isn't it lower on,
It is lower.
towards the fire
But
department?
You have the pop out there, the corner pop out.
Yeah,
so
it pops
that's-
out
That's
that
the
way.
problem.
Hmm.
I mean, not on the corner, but to the right side. I mean, I know it's kind of backwards
Yeah,
from,
and so
mean-
that's what I explained to her before. So she would end up losing a parking spot in front of her store if we do something like that. to
on
make-
the right side over on COFA.
Towards Corfu, correct.
Well, with that, though, she's got all that in front of the store and then the middle row.
Yeah.
So that really wouldn't lose too much because you've got all that other in the front. So
Sure.
this would be to the side. And then maybe you could have some signage for,
Handicap
Or,
around the
yeah.
corner or.
mm-hmm,
Because I was also thinking when that water from the rain goes by, it's like flowing right there. I'm like, with that ramp or whatever you plan to do, it's gonna either have to have like some kind of a hole
drain
or
under
a
it,
drain
yeah.
in there, so that way that water can continue going through there because,
Well, the
proper way would be cut the sidewalk out and put the ramp up into the sidewalk.
True,
That's the only
right.
way you could do it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You
That
couldn't
is,
do it any other way, yeah.
Oh, okay. Mhm. Well, maybe when you have a chance to go over there and look.
But you could, I mean,
take a
you
look.
could do that where that, already took a parking spot out for that, with that striping on the corner there, so they wouldn't back out in the, I guess that's so they don't back out into the crosswalk when they come out of the parking lot spot.
You talking about the?
It's right in front of her shop.
Corner of
The-
Arizona and
the-
Kofa.
The little hashed out zones, is that what you're
Right.
talking about? Yeah, we do that purposely because it's basically, you have to have line of sight. So those are meant, so if you're pulling out, you have line of sight. So you
Yeah, but
can't park in those areas or
Could
can't have
you,
a parking
yeah,
stall there.
you could put a handicap right there on, in the existing spot and put a ramp up into the sidewalk
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it would be something like that. It would take
Yeah.
up sidewalk space
Yeah.
instead of, but in order to get
That
to
would work.
the actual ramp, you have to lose a stall.
Well, when you have a chance, take a look at it because the other times people just say, Gloria, that's not really safe right there. Or
Yeah.
Gloria this, but when that woman fell and she was a tribal lady, I'm like, oh Lord, so I haven't received nothing. So maybe it won't come up to anything, but I
I
just
haven't
thought.
either, so
So, okay.
There's a
So
rather
that's
tall
good to
curb though, I could see.
I will take a look.
Okay,
I
thank
made a
you,
note.
thank you.
Okay. We have a review on the Veterans Day Parade,
I just left that on because we haven't talked about it since, but I
but
think we
everyone
have a
came and
Veterans Day
picked up
parade.
their things and everything seemed to go well.
Yeah, yes. No, somebody didn't pick up, oh, I think it's the band.
Oh.
I think it's the
I have no idea. I thought
I
everybody
think
picked
I
their.
have it. still.
Okay.
So, but other than that, everybody came by and got their stuff and.
We had it was big, it was good, a lot of entries.
The social media seems to be working out really well for us lately, so,
Mhm.
our flyer was shared a lot. We got out to a lot of people. Just sort of Parker, right? Nobody signs up till the very end.
There-
I know, there was a million people showing up. I'm like, wow, this thing turned out
No, and
huge.
there's still, there's still some that go, I need a number, and I go, "Well, I don't have you on my list. What list? How many years have you been doing this? I recognize you.
Yeah.
It's the same as last year. But,
So get those ideas ready for November, because it'll be here before we know it for Grand Marshals.
yeah,
That was a struggle this year. Maybe just one.
yep. Shh. Mhm. Okay,
Good though.
Lolo enjoyed herself.
she did
liked
well,
it.
she was a great help.
Yeah, she
so-
liked it.
That was good. Okay, any other old business to go over? No, okay, new business. Fiscal 24-25 budget and capital projects. So we've got a lot.
You see two items, two overhead shots of the locations of what I proposed already to Sunland Asphalt. I'm just waiting for proposals. The R&R, where it says streets R&R, that's been on our list as the #1 priority the last few years.
Okay,
So
Steve,
that's down there between Fifth,
that's an alley.
excuse me,
Never mind.
Fourth and Sixth. Ocotillo to Riata, or excuse me, to Quartz. So all of that will be removed, and new asphalt placed.
Cool.
And then the other section is a scrub seal. And that's over there by the school, essentially from 18th to 21st, Navajo to Joshua. In some cases, Cal, that one segment on 21st Street.
Is that a scrub seal, is what you call a chip seal now?
So scrub seal is basically a chip seal. The only difference is behind the actual chip box, there's an actual broom. And what that does, it agitates the actual,
Aggregate?
not the aggregate,
Pebble.
but the actual, the road prior to the chip going down. And this helps with actually getting the chip into those cracks. So they call that a scrub seal.
That's cool.
It's an added process to it then, all right.
Yeah, but yes, it's essentially a chip seal.
So we won't be doing anything on Ocotillo?
As far as over there at the other project location?
The R&R map?
No, so it starts at Ocotillo. So all the Ocotillo itself is in great shape.
Okay.
So basically, just be from that. All those street, everything you see in red will be done. So Ocotillo itself is in good shape over there.
How about the curbs and gutter project?
The curb and gutter project is, Kimley Horn was awarded the project from ADOT. So we had our first kind of not pre-construction, but let's just say,
Survey.
no, I guess we'd call it a pre-design meeting. That was last week. And, just to go over, have all the parties be on the same page as far as what's coming, what's happening. We talked about utilities, we talked about the survey, we talked about the next step. Once they get issued officially their contract, Kimley Horn, then we'll have a kickoff meeting with them and ADOT and go over kind of the schedule. I provided them information on our surveyor that has done all of our surveying, Lemmy Engineering. So they'll reach out to them because they have a lot of information on all these street segments throughout town. So survey is going to be a really big part of this design because there's so many streets involved. So 89, actually it'll probably end up being more than 89. I've noticed in hindsight, going back and seeing segments in which, for instance, over there at the school on Kofa, between 17th and 18th. Well, in front of the medical building there, it's pavement, it's asphalt that goes all the way out to the curb. Well, that doesn't actually meet code for ADA compliance, so that little segment of sidewalk that ends essentially at 18th Street would need to connect all the way up to 17th Street, need to have an actual sidewalk there instead of asphalt. It's uneven asphalt. So things like that I've noticed I didn't include in my original grant proposal. But what we'll do is we'll include it in the design because once they're done with the design, then they're gonna plan this, or it's actually required that we actually apply for